Ryan, thanks for coming on here today, and
Of course.
really admire what you have built. Obviously, you've built your own brokerage, and one of the things that you talk a lot about is the importance of brand.
Yep.
And obviously, I think that obviously your play in going into a brokerage is how you're going to position yourself for the disruption that we're going to see in the industry here in the next coming years. So what is the big disruption that's coming our way?
I honestly, I don't remember the last time we sold something that wasn't done through video. And I think the biggest disruption that you're going to see is all the MLSs and the way agents brand themselves and showcase property will be video first, photo second. And it just has to get a little bit easier for people to do it, because it's so much easier to take a photo than it is to take a video. And so once that kind of gets out there, then I think you'll see things in constant motion. Kind of like if you watch a movie from the future, right? Like there's no billboards, it's in motion. Like everything is in motion. It's like static images are going to feel like they were yesterday, and everything will be in constant motion because you live in your home in motion, right? You walk through your living room, walk through the kitchen, walk into the bedroom. It's a different experience than just, hey, here's a pretty photo with a wide angle lens, so it feels a lot bigger than it actually is on the perfect day with the blue skies. Like people want to experience it, and there's, I don't mean to rhyme, but there's emotion in motion more than there is in just a photo, right? Like you can feel
100%.
something when you see people, move.
Yeah, 100%, right? And obviously, I mean, in New York, one of the things that I don't think a lot of real estate agents realize across North America is that you guys don't have an MLS system.
Right. Also that, yeah.
Right.
That might be disruptive.
So this is how you have had to become really creative and rely on other sources to obviously promote your listings, right?
Oh yeah, well there are different platforms that have been created by default in exchange for not having an MLS. So we do have systems that we use, otherwise we would just totally lose our mind. But I remember when I got into the business in 2008, like there was no system. Like you were checking brokerage websites individually for listings. Like it was a process, or you're going to Craigslist and just sourcing what was posted that day. I don't know if you guys had Craigslist, but it was like sort of a classified ads.com.
Yeah, no, we used to use that back in the day as well. I actually remember the very first website that I built, I was actually promoting it in the back of a newspaper.
Nice. See, exactly.
Right. That was my version of pay-per-click back in the day when I first got into the business.
Ridiculous.
I mean, obviously you have attained an incredible level of success. What is, one thing that you have had to overcome? Because a lot of people say, oh, success, it's easy, right? And it's, from my own personal experience, there's a lot of failures along the way. So what has been the biggest challenge that you've had to overcome yourself?
I think overcoming rejection, overcoming dead deals was always hard at the beginning of the business for me, because I take everything so personally, right? If a deal dies, it's like, oh, how am I going to live, right? That sucks. I worked so hard on it. And the emotional roller coaster that you go through in any business, especially when you're an entrepreneur and you work for yourself, right? It would be a totally different thing if I was 9 to 5, had tax returns like everybody else. Then my issues and my obstacles would be, how do I make a difference? What am I doing with my life? Right? I'm just listening to somebody else and taking orders over and over and over. But to get over that emotional roller coaster, right? I thought back and I said, okay, let me think about my year, right? Let me think about last year. Let me try to think really quick. What was bad? 2020 is a bad example. 2019, right? 2019. What happened in 2019 that was bad? Like, what's a bad thing at work that happened? What's a good thing? And try to make 2 lists really quickly without checking your calendar or thinking about anything. And for the most part, you're going to remember the good things that happened that year. Right? You're going to remember, oh yeah, no, that deal closed. That was awesome. No, that one. You're not going to remember all the bad ones, right? Because time heals all wounds. And so what I came up with is something that I call a calendar trick, where like I know time heals all wounds. I know that the sting of the deal dying or losing that client or getting fired or all that shit today isn't going to affect me in a year, but that's easy to say. because it really sucks right now. So I would go into my calendar, right? Let's say something bad happens right now. It's 3:21 p.m. Eastern, May 24th, 2021. So I go into my calendar in 1 month from now. So June 24th, okay, 3 o'clock. And I would write into my calendar a little half an hour little calendar item saying, how do you feel about X deal dying right now, whatever it might be? Or how do you feel about what that guy said, whatever you might be going through right now. And I'm telling you, you're going to get there in a month and you're going to be looking at your calendar, going through what you got going on today. And you're going to look at that and you're going to say, what? How do I think about, oh yeah, no, I fixed that. Oh. And what you're going to do is slowly but surely, you're going to build up that muscle memory, which is a real muscle, so that the next time something bad happens, you'll put it into your calendar, but just the act of putting it in there is going to make you feel better, because you know that soon your brain isn't going to feel the same pain anymore. So you're going to be able to take punches to the face left and right after you get this muscle memory built up, so that you can be bulletproof when meeting with other clients, so that you can get knocked down at 9 a.m. and get back up at 9:10, go out and crush the rest of your day. Versus the obstacle when I first started, which was get knocked down at 9 a.m. and, you know, tomorrow will be better. Now I just threw away a whole day because of a deal that died that was going to die anyway, or a client that lied to me, that has been lying to me for a year, you know, whatever the situation might be. So I think, like, mentally overcoming how to get over loss by doing that calendar trick is a real thing, and it took me a while to figure it out, and it's a little thing that anyone can try. Hopefully that helps on this beautiful holiday up there in Canada.
Yeah, no, sure does. That's why you got the boxing gear delivered to your office today, right?
Yeah, to fight myself.
There you go. Awesome, Ryan. Did you come up with all this stuff yourself, or did you have a coach or a mentor that taught you all this?
No, I wish I had a coach or a mentor. It'd be so much easier. That's what I am to people that are in our sales force, which is what I love doing so much, because I'm here for you in the way no one else was there for me. You know, but no, I just like trial by fire, which is why it's so passionate to me to talk about, and which is why I've written the books, and which is why I've put out the course and done the things that I've done, because it's all first person, you know, and I know what I'm talking about, because I've lived it and I'm living through it right now. You know, I did the calendar trick last Friday. Had a deal die that really, really sucked on Friday, and I pushed it out a month because I know it's gonna make me feel better, and guess what? It did. Still sucks. I get it. Still there. But I didn't throw away my day. I didn't throw away all my hours, all my minutes, right? I went right back after it, and I knew how to feel better because of it. But you're the man. Thank you so much for having me, and thanks for getting Big Money Energy, man. I know we did that Zoom that time, but it was good to do this live with you as well on your holiday.
Yeah.
You're looking good.
No, thank you, and looking forward to catching up with you once we're allowed to travel again. We're still in stage 1 lockdown here in Calgary, and we're navigating through these interesting times. But
that's great.
Yeah.
Dude, just break free, man. Just break free. Break free.
Oh yeah, awesome. Thanks, Ryan. And for those of you guys that haven't picked up the book, Big Money Energy, pick it up now. It's a great read. Not only if you're a real estate agent, but if you're an entrepreneur, for that matter.
Yeah.
So thanks again, Ryan. Appreciate you.
All right,
okay,
see ya.
Thank you. Bye-bye.